and I were noting on the awkwardness of the crowd is over there, but we're really playing to the cameras, which, you know, as an actor, certainly speaks to my vanity. You guys just cheer on the side. No, I'll try and mix it up a little bit. What a perfect way to spend Halloween, right? In Hollywood, on Hollywood Boulevard, with horror, and as of, sorry, I'm with my old man glasses, with horror, and as of today, Hollywood royalty, Robert Englund. So, Hollywood is the land of dreams. This is a made-up city that only exists to tell the stories that we dream of. Only for guys like us, we're telling the nightmares. But if you can show the humanity in those stories, those scary stories can touch people and shine light in the darkest places all over the globe. And Robert Englund is truly one of those beacons of light. I had the good fortune to meet Robert many years ago, I won't say how many, when I produced a film called 2001 Maniacs, where he played the mighty Mayor Buckman. I formed a new company, and the first movie we were going to make, I jumped at the chance to work with Robert. I just wanted to be around him, to hear his stories, hopefully become his friend, to learn from him. It was a dream come true. And I will never forget the first time we met. I was in the van. I don't know if you remember this. We were riding to the location in Georgia, and there he was, like right next to me, along with another icon in Hollywood royalty, the great Lin Shaye. And the two of them began talking not about horror, but about playwrights, Shakespeare, Pinter, Brecht, characters, the theater, delicious performances they'd seen, who should win the Oscar this year, and who should have won it in years previous. It was by far the most disappointing van ride of my life. I wanted to fucking shoot myself. My God, I couldn't believe it. I was next to Robert fucking Englund. I wanted stories about Nightmare on Elm Street 3, not 12th Night or Waiting for Lefty. Jesus Christ, this is gonna be a nightmare. That was my nightmare. But it is these experiences that encapsulate a man who truly understands how to find the humanity even in a monster. As a child, if you asked anyone who are the horror icons, they'd say Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, Invisible Man, Phantom of the Opera, Jekyll and Hyde, and the Mummy, probably in that order. If you ask any fan around the world today, who are the horror icons, they'll say Freddy, Jason, Michael, Ghostface, Chucky, now Art the Clown. Probably in that order. Freddy is always first. Yeah. Always. That is no accident. Freddy Krueger was the first time a killer in a slasher movie spoke. Up until then, slashers were silent assassins, or a breather, avatars for the unstoppable force of death. But Robert made death fun, just so fucking fun, with such classic one-liners as, and join me, welcome to prime time, bitch! Suddenly, we weren't afraid of the monster, we were rooting for him, and that was a turning point, not just in horror, but in cinema itself. Robert told me he had spent so many years buried in the makeup, no one knew who he was. And even I had to admit that at a certain point, I just assumed Freddy played Freddy. But it was Robert's choice of words that revealed so much about him. Buried in the makeup. He buried himself in that character, so much so that he took the most monstrous figure of our nightmares and turned him into a beloved icon that warmed our hearts. And that is not just the late great Wes Craven, that is not just David Miller and Kevin Yeager's makeup design, that's Robert. That is Robert. He played the darkness and evil in characters like Freddy. He never played the darkness and evil in characters like Freddy. He played the humor and the humanity. There was a particular sensitivity to Freddy. He understood our subconscious. He saw right into us the same way Robert sees into every character he plays. Rewatch Elm Street 2. I know it was a financial mess, but watch it and watch the documentary Scream Queen, sorry Bob for giving you flashbacks, to see how that film was actually about the AIDS crisis in the 80s. It is a daring film and an incredible performance, but like all of Robert's characters, from Buck, who enjoys fornication, to Buckman, Robert buries himself in that. He is an actor who makes every moment count. So, Robert's not just horror royalty, he's truly a gem in every way. A cinematic and theatrical treasure, a force of nature, and someone who intuitively finds that part of ourselves in any character, no matter how monstrous, and makes them a little less scary, a little more empathetic. Robert, you really traumatized me for my teenage years. All of us, that's why we're here. I lost many nights of sleep with you, including last night when I was writing this at 3 in the morning because I was up thinking of what to say. But how fitting. Once again, I couldn't sleep because of Robert Englund. And as you know, when you make scary movies, there is no higher compliment. Congratulations, Robert.